So I'll go back to the first thing we spoke today. That wasn't filmed at that point. I was just summarizing. Now I'm going to capitalize on that. The three denials, okay? Fear, shame, pride, are actually the same thing experienced in their three polarities. Okay? We can believe if we really want to gross it up. It's not accurate, but it could be proton, neutron, electron if you want. Okay? It's just three polarities, three ways of experiencing that denial. Okay? The different ways that these denials come together at the atomic level is what you have experienced emotionally and mentally when in your mind you have contemplated for long enough the experience of shame to become aware of it and dissolve it. The denials hold you together. At least they seem to do. But at one point, we're afraid that if we do not have denial, we'll just dissolve and go into consciousness, and now our individualized self is threatened. Okay? Because it never experienced vacuity, or at least the anima, the first city of just subtle consciousness everywhere. Okay? And I was saying, William, when you do the city meditations, all of the cities, what they do, they make you conscious of that space between the atoms. The city meditations are not necessarily to go into vacuity, but it makes you aware of that most refined consciousness that you are, which is not only the dense, apparently tangible particles. It makes you aware of all that you flow into. It's not even what you are, it's what you flow into. Okay? When you are conscious, and the more conscious you are of yourself, how are you conscious of yourself? You observe what is gross and tangible and hard. So if you have a dense emotion, abandonment, rejection, guilt, various levels of suffering, and you do the integration that I teach in many other seminars, breathe and be conscious of that density, of that hardness, that fear, that suffering, and try to identify it. It's not absolutely necessary to identify it. Sometimes we just can't. You don't know which denial it is, you just feel some kind of resistance, so you say, well, it's denial. Start with that. At one point you'll see if it's fear, shame, or pride, or one of them in between, because these are not three separate denials. These are just three peaks where they seem to be tangible, but in between shame and pride there's unworthiness, and there's tons of stuff. It's a wheel of potential. You can't use words on every possible variation of the denials, but these are the three main and the most important to gaze at, because they are the grossest and the more obvious for our human nature. Okay? So what we'll do is a simple meditation meant to bring us into that state of vacuity. So you will do two things at once. You will contemplate the emptiness of what you're made of. You will contemplate the vacuity from which all things came. And you will contemplate at the same time what prevents you from going to vacuity. So you're going to do two things at once, okay? Vacuity. Breathe. It's time to put the pens down. Breathe gently. For the sake of that meditation, I'm turning off the air. Kickstart the experience through a visualization. Falling in darkness, nothing to hold on. The mantra is Abu. It's not Abu, it's Abu. Abu. Vacuity. What is unmanifested. Falling in darkness, nothing to hang on. Look at the fear of falling. Look at the shame. Look at the pride. Look at the resistance of going to nothing. That is your ego. Love your ego. Accept it. Look at it. Abu. There is nothing. Vacuity. Breathe. Contemplate the darkness of nothing. Contemplate that resistance. Vacuity. Contemplate what part of you so much wants to hold on to reality as you know it. Abu. Falling in darkness. What part of you so much wants to hold on to being tangible in your dream? You got emotions that wants to stay alive. You got thoughts that want you to stay individualized. And you got atomic, natural force that is meant to be kept solid. Look at the fear of losing yourself in nothing. Breathe. It will release emotions at levels where usually emotions are not experienced. It can relieve emotions from the physical plane. It can have your body react. It's okay. Relax. Breathe. Now we'll go into that state that will pull your mind a bit more. Abu. 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 Please take a deep breath. Contemplate in your mind softly. Abu. Abu. Nothing. Falling in darkness. Damper than complete obscurity. In the absence of light and sound, even if you hear my voice, contemplate. There is no voice. Absolute silence. Nothing. Abu. Contemplate your attention now on your abdomen. There is vacuity inside me. Your consciousness is in your abdomen. Contemplating something apparently tangible, your abdomen, your lower abdomen. Contemplating the apparently tangible from the untangible point of view, Abbu. There is nothing. I contemplate what appears to be something. There is nothing. Potential creativity, power of vacuity is gushing through your abdomen. And the Kundalini released from within the atoms is gushing into your abdomen. From what is empty inside you, filling up what seems to be tangible inside you. From the point of Abu, everything inside you that is nothing is pouring divine consciousness from out of the space where there is no space, Abu. And that consciousness is delivered in the abdomen. Naturally, it summons the existential reaction of the ego to exist. And you are filled with Kundalini. Filled with the power wrapped tightly in the atoms. Gazing at illusion of tangibility from the point of vacuity, Abu. 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 We will slowly come back from the gazing of vacuity. Pay attention to what was awakened inside you. Pay attention to what reacted. It can be a strong reaction. It can be so light that it is hard to believe it's a reaction. Look at the simple desire to stay tangible. You know from your experience what was awakened.